Hello and welcome, dear electronic music addicts, to another episode of the EMA Podcast. It's great to have you with us for this deep dive. We're looking into some really significant stuff shaping the electronic music world right now.
Yeah, definitely.
We've pulled together insights from, recent articles, public discussions, trying to give you the full picture. On the table today, two big things. First, this controversy that's been making serious waves. It's about DJ technique on some pretty iconic platforms. And then, shifting gears, some really exciting news. The return of a legendary trio to Mexico City, big venue.
Exactly. And like you said, we're going beyond just the headlines today. These aren't just, random events. They're raising some important questions. Questions about standards in our scene, how it's evolving, and what really defines prestige and impact in electronic music now. We'll try to cut through the noise for you.
Okay, so let's jump right in. This first controversy. Boiler Room and HOR Berlin. For a lot of us, they're not just streaming platforms, right? They're prestigious showcases.
Yeah.
Synonyms for quality, for curation.
Absolutely. The Champions League, like you said.
Being featured there, it's huge. Global visibility, prestige, it's like an instant validation. But because of that high status, expectations are incredibly high. And the public scrutiny. It's intense when things go wrong. So what happened? Well, the first big incident, the one that kind of kicked off this firestorm, it involved DJ Sussy Pussy on Boiler Room. The set was published March 27th, 2024. It's been online over a year, but the criticism has really ramped up recently.
Yeah, I saw that resurfacing.
And it's specifically about the technical errors, people pointing out, uncoordinated transitions, really poor beat synchronization, like rhythms clashing instead of locking, and just a noticeable lack of control in the track changes. It's led a lot of people to ask, how did Boiler Room approve this? How did they broadcast it?
And what's fascinating here is that the flack wasn't really about the music selection itself. Often that gets a pass if it's interesting.
Right.
But this was squarely on the technical errors. And that's critical because these platforms, their whole reputation is built on high standards, on curation. So when you have obvious technical mistakes like bad beat sync, it makes people question the whole curation process.
Exactly.
It's not just a bad mix anymore. It hits their credibility. Hearing beats clash like that, it totally breaks the flow, that immersion we all look for. For serious listeners, that's jarring.
And worryingly, it wasn't just a one-off. We saw something, very similar happen over at HOR Berlin. May 26, 2025, they published a set by DJ RIXXIA, who also goes by HY.
Okay.
And just like with Sussy Pussy, the comments immediately focused on the lack of technique, bad synchronization again, transitions that just didn't flow, where it feels like a track gets cut off instead of blending.
Right, abrupt, not smooth.
Yeah. Now, in this case, people acknowledged the musical selection had some interesting ideas, some cool proposals, but the live execution, widely seen as below par for her.
This makes you wonder then, how are established artists reacting? Because they have a stake in this too. And we have seen some pretty public reactions. Fabian Hernandez, for instance, he put out these Facebook videos. He really broke down both sets, highlighting the technical mistakes very clearly.
I saw those, yeah. Very detailed.
And he wasn't the only one. DJs also weighed in, put out a video questioning pretty directly the seriousness of Boiler Room and HOR's selection process. So it's definitely not just online chatter. Pros are taking note. It affects how the whole craft is perceived.
And the fan reactions, equally harsh. Maybe even more so.
Oh, no, Dad.
Lots of suggestions flying around that maybe these DJs got the spots through, contacts or image, maybe even paying for it rather than pure talent.
Wow.
And that really is the crux of it because it leads to these big questions. Are Boiler Room and HOR lowering their standards? Is it okay for DJs with, let's say, less technical experience to play on these huge stages? And maybe the biggest question, what weighs more now? The artistic idea, the aesthetic, or the actual technical skill behind the decks?
Well, if you look at the impact of those flaws in both cases, it kind of answers that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With Sussy Pussy, okay, she tried exploring different genres, which is cool, but the errors in the mix just overshadowed it, made it hard to appreciate the journey.
Totally.
And with RIXXIA, HY, the energy was there, the musical direction seemed interesting, but the sync issues, they created these awkward moments, jarring bits that just kept breaking the flow.
Yeah, it takes you right out of it.
Exactly. So both cases, unfortunately, kind of reinforce this feeling that maybe the curation isn't as strict as it used to be. And if we zoom out, connect this to the bigger picture, what's really at stake isn't just two sets, it's a reputation. These are brands that, for years, meant prestige in electronic music.
Right. They were gatekeepers, in a way.
Precisely. And this whole thing opens up a huge debate. Maybe it's about their business model evolving, in the saturated content world. Perhaps chasing virality, chasing diverse audiences, means prioritizing a unique personality or aesthetic over, flawless technique.
Interesting point.
It makes you ask, is technical skill less relevant now compared to charisma or just generating buzz online? Should these platforms push diversity and new talent even if the performance isn't perfect? Or do they need to maintain a minimum quality standard to justify their prestige?
Tough questions.
Yeah. And the public backlash plus comments from experienced artists.
Yeah.
That might actually force Boiler Room and HOR to rethink things. Because if these platforms, the traditional curators, seem to lower the bar, then the audience starts wondering what being featured there even means anymore.
So yeah, the controversy is definitely served. Are they betting on freshness over polish? Or just not caring as much about the prestige? Maybe it's not black and white, but it's definitely going to change how people see these platforms. What do you think? Is it about giving new talent a shot, even if they're rough around the edges? Or are Boiler Room and HOR compromising their reputation too much? Something to think about.
Okay, from those debates shaking things up,
Yeah.
Let's shift to something undeniably positive. Some really good news.
Good, let's hear it. Especially for the scene in Mexico. Get ready, because Swedish House Mafia is returning to Mexico City.
Wow.
And this is going to be massive. The date is set, October 31st, 2025. The venue, the iconic Plaza de Toros, Mexico.
Plaza de Toros, that's huge.
Isn't it? And the announcement image they dropped, very them. Minimalist, black background, futuristic font spelling out the name, the date, 311025, and the venue. Plus, info on the right about the HSBC pre-sale August 20th and 21st.
Nice.
With interest-free months options too. And obviously the OCISA and Ticketmaster partnership backing it all up.
What's cool is how they built the hype, especially for Mexican fans. They were dropping teasers on Instagram. Very clever.
Oh yeah, like what?
Well, first there was this video, zooming out slowly, revealing a structure that looked a lot like the Plaza de Toros.
Oh, sneaky.
Totally. Then the next day, a photo in their stories, a street in CDMX with that same building image on a billboard, plus a pre-registration link. They basically let everyone figure it out before the official word dropped. Genius way to build buzz.
Masterclass. Okay, so for anyone wanting tickets, let's run through the timeline quickly. The artist-exclusive pre-sale, that's drop.cobrand.com/d/Swedish House Mafia/CDMX, Wednesday, August 20, 10 a.m.
Got it.
Then the HSBC Grand Venta also starts Wednesday, August 20, runs through Thursday the 21st. That's for credit and debit card holders, starting at 12 p.m.
Okay.
Then an hour later on Thursday, 1 p.m., the Spotify pre-sale starts.
Yeah.
And finally, general sale, Friday, August 22, 10 a.m. through ticketmaster.com.mxe and the Swedish House Mafia website.
Right, and that venue choice, the Plaza de Toros, it's just so significant. One of the most emblematic spots in Latin America.
It definitely sends a message.
It really does.
Yeah.
And this show, it's special not just because it's their return to Mexico after 2 years,
Yeah.
but the timing. Halloween, Day of the Dead festivities, that could give the whole thing an even more spectacular, unique vibe. Imagine that energy.
Oh, absolutely.
And Axwell, Steve Angelo, Sebastian Ingrosso. They're promising a monumental production. Visuals, lights, that huge sound they're known for, everything you'd expect.
Okay, but here's where it gets, a bit more complicated. There is a debate among fans already.
Ah, the nostalgia question.
Exactly. You've got people saying, the group isn't what it used to be. They're just leaning on nostalgia to stay relevant.
Yeah. That's always the challenge for legacy acts.
So the big unknown for this Mexico City show is, will it be something genuinely new, fresh energy, new material that really hits hard?
Right.
Or will they, mainly rely on the classic anthems to sell the event?
That's a fair question. And it touches on their enduring appeal, right? Swedish House Mafia, they undeniably defined a whole era for EDM fans. Tracks like Don't You Worry Child, Save the World won. They didn't just rule festivals. They pushed electronic music onto global pop charts, brought in so many new listeners.
For sure. Game changers.
So their return to Mexico. It's a huge reunion for thousands of fans who've been waiting. And choosing Plaza de Toros, that signals a massive show designed to be record-breaking. The real question isn't if they'll play the hits, of course they will, but how they'll weave them in.
Right.
Will it just be a throwback set? Or will they reimagine things? Maybe new edits, collaborations, production tweaks, something that bridges their iconic past with now. That's the trick.
Good point. Finding that balance.
Exactly. That's the opportunity for them.
So the takeaway here, Late 2025 in Mexico is looking stacked with great shows. And Swedish House Mafia, definitely one of the most anticipated. You've got the nostalgia, the energy they bring, the promise of this epic production. All the ingredients are there for a spectacular night. So remember the date, October 31st, 2025. Plaza de Toros, Mexico, Swedish House Mafia live. What do you think? Will this show top their previous performances in Mexico? And just like that, another deep dive wraps up. We took a critical look at technical standards in DJing and then shifted to the huge buzz around the return of an EDM giant.
Indeed. And maybe these ongoing debates, skill versus artistic vision, nostalgia versus innovation, maybe they just show us how electronic music is always evolving.
Shaped by the artists, but also shaped crucially by the audience, by your expectations and engagement. It's this living thing we're all part of.
Absolutely well said. We definitely encourage you to keep thinking about these things, share your thoughts. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Electronic Music Addicts podcast. Don't forget to follow us for more information and analysis about the world of electronic music. See you soon. And remember, turn the world into a dance floor.